Hey everyone, so today we're diving into one of the most powerful numbers in all of economics. Seriously, it's a single figure that can tell you the story of an entire country's financial health. We're talking about national income. Just think about it for a second. If you had to check a country's economic pulse, how would you even do that? What's the one thing you'd look for to see if it's booming, just getting by, or in trouble? It feels like a massive, super complicated question, doesn't it? Well, it turns out economists have a tool designed for that exact job. It's a way to cut through all the noise, find that one economic heartbeat, and it all boils down to one single core concept. And that concept is called national income. At its heart, it's actually pretty straightforward. You just add up the value of everything a country makes in one year. Every car, every cup of coffee, every app, you name it. That grand total, that's the national income. It's basically the ultimate measure of a country's economic output. Our sources put it another way, which I think is really helpful. It's the total value created by a country's residents, and it doesn't matter if they're working at home or somewhere else in the world. The key thing to remember, the big takeaway here, is that it's all about what a nation produces. Okay, so to really get how this huge number comes to be, we gotta look at how money actually moves through an economy. It's not just some giant pile of cash sitting in a vault, it's a constant circular flow. Let's use a really simple model to see it in action. It all starts with us, right? The households. We go to work, providing our labor to firms. In exchange, those firms pay us an income. So, what do we do with that money? We spend it. We buy the goods and services that those very same firms create. And that spending, it goes right back to the firms as their revenue, which they then use to pay us again. See the loop? It's a brilliant little circle that shows how production, income, and spending are all just different sides of this same coin. So we know what it is, and we know kind of how it's made. But why should we care? I mean, really, why does this one number matter so much? Well, because what it tells us about a country and even about our own lives is actually pretty profound. The best way to think about it is like a country's annual report card. It's a straightforward grade on how well it did, what it produced, and what it achieved for the year. It tells us, in black and white, how the economy performed. And when you track this number over time, you get this amazing picture of where the country's headed. Is the number going up year after year? Awesome, the economy is growing. Is it kind of flat? Well, things are stagnant. Is it falling? That's a huge warning sign of a decline. The whole story is right there in one simple chart. We can also zoom in and get even more detail. This data lets us pop the hood on the economy and see what's really driving it. Is it the service industry, manufacturing, agriculture? We can see exactly which sectors are the heavy hitters and which ones might be lagging behind. And its power isn't just for looking at one country in isolation. Oh no, we can use it to compare the economic well-being and standard of living between different nations. But to do that fairly, you can't just use the big total number. You have to account for how many people live there. And that's where this crucial little metric called per capita income comes in. It's super simple. You just take the total national income and divide it by the population. What you get is a really powerful, though, not perfect, estimate of the average income per person. It's a key indicator of how prosperous a country is. You can bet that for governments and policymakers, this data is absolute gold. They use it for everything. For long-term economic planning, for trying to understand how income is spread out across the population, for guessing where inflation is heading, and even for figuring out the real purchasing power of the money in your pocket. It guides some of the biggest decisions that affect all of us. So really, this isn't just another dry statistic. It's this incredible lens that helps us understand a nation's entire economic life. Let's just quickly recap the three biggest things it shows us. All right, let's nail this down. National income tells us the rate of growth, which is crucial for making smart policy and investment decisions. It helps us measure the standard of living, which is all about citizen well-being. And it shows us sector performance, highlighting what a country is really good at. But I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. We know national income is an amazing measure of production, of economic activity. But what about all the important things it doesn't measure? Like happiness, or the quality of the environment, or all the unpaid volunteer work that people do. That's where things get really interesting. Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.